Hey everybody, Barantos here. So I'm going to make a video and it'll probably be in a couple parts because this is a bigger one. But I wanted to show everyone what I keep in my get home bag / bug out bag and things like that. So just a quick overview. On the outside, before we dig into the inside, we have a sleeping bag over here that's waterproof. We have some latex gloves here. Those have come in very handy, like during deer hunting season or anything like that. If you don't want to get blood on everything, on your hands, those gloves come in. We have a compass here, military style compass. So make sure you know how to read that and how to work it and things like that. We have a tourniquet pocket over here with a rat inside. And then on the top is a first aid kit from mymedic.com. So I had like a bigger FSA one year and I needed to burn it. And I was just getting started out with this stuff. So I bought a big medical kit. If you're familiar with medical kits and how to build them, I would recommend going that route because this does get a little pricey. But if you're starting out, it's a good start. So I'm gonna take a step back and we're gonna dig into what's in my bag. All right, see you in a few. All right, so now we have the most of the contents of my backpack. We'll just walk you through this first pouch that's usually on top has this piece of fat wood so that you can light some fires, a little tinder making machine here to grind that up. We have a little bit of cordage on a pretty decent dispenser, small chemical stove with a few tabs in there, as well as a few tabs in here with things. We have expanding water bottle or a bottle in general. So you definitely want to be able to carry fluids or liquids or anything like that. I also have a Camelback in the bag. As you know, one is none and two is one. So you want redundancies in your get home bag. So I keep this expandable bottle just in case too, like what if I need fuel and I don't want to mix it in my water bottle or anything like that. So having an extra container is really great, especially one that can condense. Here we have some little fire starter bits. Some of this stuff I got through BattleBox, which if you're just starting out, I would recommend it. I think you get some good value on some things. Plus they have some interesting products that can help you out with stuff. But if you're experienced and you have a decent amount of gear already, then it probably doesn't make sense to go down that route. So here is the knife that I keep on my bag. This is kind of my hunting knife. You can see it's had an edge on it a few times. This is my Tops Cub. So this comes with me through deer hunting. I also have a Tops of Brotherhood Bushcraft. So I'm a big fan of Tops knives for fixed blades. With those, you get really high quality knives. There's nice micarta handles. They have the little bow drill spot here too. I'm not very good at bow drilling, but in case it's my only option, I got that spot there as well with things. Then I have a striking fire starter here. So you want something to start a fire. Then I have a waterproof lighter container in here. So we got a lighter in here and you can light that. So it stays waterproof, it stays sealed. In my bag, I also have an extra trauma dressing. So just in case anything really happens. My first aid kit was kind of full, but felt like this would be an extra thing to add just in case. Because you're probably gonna go through dressings if anything does happen quite a bit. So what do we have here? We have an emergency sleeping bag, just in case that first sleeping bag wasn't enough. You definitely want this. This is the Tac Bivy one that comes from BattleBox. It's pretty lightweight. The other thing too, I'm probably going to get some guff on this, but these sleeping pads as well as a pillow. Now this bug out bag doesn't need to be, you know, just post-apocalypse. We've been to like Airbnbs and, you know, people camping and stuff like that. And we've used these and they're really, really comfortable. Like it's nice to have the sleeping pods. They don't add a ton of weight and they pack up pretty well. So sometimes those little comforts, if you can get them, bring them along with things. Next, so here is the Sawyer water system. So mini water filtration system. So I have the Sawyer in here. You definitely want to be able to filter water and get good, clean drinking water out of things. So Sawyer is a pretty excellent system when it comes to water filtration and things like that. If you have the room, the bigger gravity ones are really good for camping. But if you're just trying to get something quick and not trying to get a gallon at a time or carry a gallon at a time, these are ideal. Next, so we'll get some room in here. So next we have some backpacker's pantry, some mountain house, things like that, some dehydrated food. So this is really nice in a pinch where, you know, like if you just sat out, you might be hungry. You might really be hungry. You might need nutrition. You might need to lay low for a bit. So we have these rather than having to go fish or set traps or hunt or whatever you're going to do with things. So having a few of these is ideal. Make sure you check like shelf times. You rotate through some of this stuff. This is one of the things that I found that I got in Battle Box that was really cool. So this is called a barrel cook. So what this does is you can just put water in here. And let me open this up for you. So you can just put water in there. And then let me get this area out. There it is. So this comes out and you put water in here and you can put a chemical, one of these chemical packs in here. So it's a flameless cooking system. So what it does is it boils the water with like a chemical. So really cool. So you don't even need a fire. You don't need anything like that. You just throw in some water and then one of these chemical packs and you're ready to go. Like you can cook one of these mountain houses. You can cook whatever you need to with that boiling water if you have like tuna helper or something even like that. So very cool system here. It's pretty convenient with things. But like I said, we also want redundancy. So here's a normal kind of pot and pan camp stove set up in here. So I have another one of these as well that I've used as camping. This is one I just haven't used yet, but it's pretty good like in a pinch if you're trying to make something over a fire. It usually has decent handles on things. It's not like a big cast iron skillet or anything like that, but if you need to boil water, if you want to cook like some type of dehydrated food in water and things like that, these work pretty good. The other thing that Barrel Cook has that it came with is like a thermos one. So if you had like a noodle soup or you just wanted coffee or something like that, you could put one of those chemicals in the bottom of this and then it'll boil the water and get everything going, and then you have a hot thermos. So a couple other things to note on my bag. I have 2 flashlights in it. I also have another flashlight in my truck, which is where my bag sits. My bag sits in my truck. And then I have 4 Glock mags, Glock 17 mags, just because it's a common mag. If somehow my firearm has issues, I might come across a firearm that takes those mags. That's really important. I feel like, plus the extra mags, you know, just in case I want to hunt something. I have shot, you know, squirrels and things like that with handguns before. It's not ideal, but you can do it as far as hunting goes. The other items on my bag, like I said, I have a big Camelback bladder so that you can, you know, fill that with water and drink it as you go. I have additional knives, and then I'm looking at getting potentially like a little splitting axe, but the other things I keep in my truck. So I keep an additional first aid kit in my truck on top of the one that's on this bag. I also keep like a wool blanket. I've slept in my truck a number of times just out of situational issues or anything like that. So I've slept in my truck before, so having a blanket in there as well as warm clothing. And then the other thing that I always keep in bags and stuff, rather than just the latex gloves, is additional gloves. So you never know if you're going to want gloves or something to avoid heat as well as keep your hands warm. So you want a pair of gloves, regular ones. And then I also have in my truck a big Leatherman / toolkit that, you know, just in case you need to do things. So it's important to have, you know, most of your bases covered as well as have redundancies and things. That's the important thing. The other thing, you know, the reason that I'm doing this is, you know, we've just gotten through winter here in Tennessee. You want to make sure that you go through and you check everything and that everything's in alignment. You have everything you thought you had. Nothing's expired. Nothing has holes in it, or like maybe a mouse got in anything. You know, when I lived in Wisconsin, mice were common. The other thing, I did forget something, insect repellent. So having some type of insect repellent is also, I think, a must. It's not as bad in Tennessee, but in Wisconsin, you want insect repellent. Like, it gets rough. So, yeah, that's my bag so far. I hope you enjoyed watching it. I'll add some more content as well as, you know, what's in the first aid kits and how to break those down and how to plan those out. All right, if you have any questions, comments, if you think that I left anything out, I would love to hear from you because, you know, I only want to make sure that I have, you know, a well-rounded system. So maybe I did forget things. I love outside perspectives. All right, take care, everyone.